Hey, what's going on, guys? Boomer here with the Boomer Smith Podcast. My name is Boomer and my podcast. So Thursday means Desert Island, folks. This is important. This is stuff that needs to be talked about. We've got to get it out there. We've got to discuss these things because they matter. What you would bring with you if you were on a desert island. It's, this has to be developed conversationally. So here I am. That's why I'm here, to make sure that happens. So two real quick things that I have to make sure I get these out there. If I don't get these two things out there quick, I've failed today at the Boomer Smith Podcast. And so let me go. Now, if I'm going to take a beverage on a desert island, let's be specific. Yeah, of course we want water, but a little bit of backstory on where my mind is right now. Now, as this has gone on, as the Boomer Smith Podcast is now episode 7, I gotta say this. Started from the bottom, now I'm here. This is the moment. You've got to know when to say that in showbiz, which this is showbiz. This is showbiz, baby, right here. Started from the bottom, now we're here, episode 7. And on episode 7, I thought by now I would have had some kind of endorsement. So I want to solicit for an endorsement at this point by saying that if I was going to take a beverage on a desert island outside of water, good, clean, yummy water, good for you water, drink water, folks. If you get one thing out of today, it's drink more water. Just, you got a bottle sitting next to you, a bottle of water. Just grab that, chug it down quick, drink more water, folks. But if I'm going to take something other than water, I would take Not Your Father's root beer. So I'd like to say right now, to the makers of Not Your Father's root beer, if you are looking to connect with people of all ages, by the ones on a daily basis, we're thinking maybe 4 or 5 people every day. Yeah, I got your back, and I'm cheap. So yeah, if you're trying to connect with people by the ones, to whom it may concern, over at Not Your Father's root beer, I'm here for you, and we can succeed together. This is a good partnership. So glad we can work this out. So you get your people with my people, and there we go. So yeah. That's the first thing. I had to get that off my chest. Second thing I had to get off my chest too, and closely related to what I had just mentioned, is have you guys ever had Not My Father's root beer? Man, it is the best. And I'm very positive that it has no nutritional value for you whatsoever, but it is fantastic. So if you are a beer drinker, a beer connoisseur of sorts, you like to check out a new beer every once in a while, and you also want something that seems tasty at 11 in the morning, Not Your Father's root beer is it. But drink responsibly. Moving forward, so with Desert Island Thursday is coming at you. You need this. We need this. Let's talk about it. Here's where my mind is. So if we're going to play the game Desert Island and talk about what's going to go with you if you are on a desert island, I think we have to completely disregard some logistics to really make it more fun and interesting, So let's understand this. Because I've mentioned before a truckload of non-mentholated cigarettes, and, that's not a realistic thing to take with you on a desert island, but that would be probably my number one next to the Bible. So strong number two. But here's something else. And this is incredibly well thought out in my mind. Music. So I would somehow like to be able to tap into music somehow if I'm on a desert island, not my own music. I want the hits from the ones that made the hits. So I think there'd be an interesting way to go about this, and I'll probably get into this more as the weeks go on. But I'm thinking a Discman with a hot mix CD. I think that's what I would do. Because if I can put a whole CD together and choose different songs from different genres, I'll find the music that defines me. I'll find what I need on a desert island, or I'll fall in love with whatever it is I bring with me. So music somehow, some way, I want that with me. It's important to have some kind of music. So whatever that looks like. I understand batteries and charging. Like I said, we're not getting the logistics here. There's no reason to do that. We can work that stuff out next year. Next year is holy smokes. Next year is coming up. So either way, not getting into the logistics on, do I have electricity? Am I going to build some kind of solar powered system for music? We're not getting into that, but I want music. Music is important. And I've got a story because I've experienced just some amazing, situations, moments with music. Like I'm sure we've all had just powerful moments that we can look back on our life that involved music, because, I think most of us like music, and music brings out emotion, and we remember strong emotional moments in our lives. So one of the reasons I like the desert island thing so much is because I like the idea of silence and solitude. Over the last 10 years, maybe 6 or 7 times, maybe more, maybe less, but I've taken little retreats where I go away for a few days, silence and solitude. I'd like to say it's almost like being on a desert island, but I have no idea, what being on a desert island is like. It was like a little cabin type thing. No electricity, no running water. I had a little gas burner for food and coffee, and a gas heater. And, so it's not like I was huffing it out in the woods with a tent or anything. But the point of the trip, it's a specific place that I stayed at that's meant for silence and solitude retreats. It's a Catholic retreat place up in Minnesota. You rent out this little tiny cabin, and there's no talking. There's other people in other cabins, but you don't talk, you don't mingle. You can take walks around, but I really spend most of the time just there in my cabin, and I do it to get in touch with God, to pray and read my Bible and journal, but there's something healthy, just so incredibly healthy, that just goes down to my soul, to have a couple of days just completely away from everybody else. And it's tough to do, even tougher now, married with kids. It's real tough to do. But what I would like to do is I would like to have 2 solid 24-hour periods where, it was just me in this place. So I would get up there, in an afternoon, and then the whole next day, and then wake up, would that be the 4th day, and head home. So I liked having those 2 solid 24-hour periods, because I could contrast and compare them on how they went spiritually and mentally, and what I would journal, because there's a process of just clearing our mind out of things. There's a process of clearing ourselves out emotionally, just in silence and solitude. And that's why I think I enjoy the desert island concept so much, because I've seen such a powerful push of health onto my life through times when I was just completely alone, deserted in a way, away from other people, no communication or anything like that. And I saw just transformation in my life. I can look at these moments, these times that I went, and they stand as pillars in my life, moments of change, checkpoints that I can look back on and see how I was before and how I am going forward. And they're powerful events for me. So stuff that I need to do something like that again soon. But it, we can make a million excuses, but in reality, I mean, it's an act of self-care, which, if we push forward in acts of self-care, we'll be better able to serve those around us, So my excuse for not going is, well, I've got a wife and kids and they need me. But the truth is this retreat, spending a couple days away by myself, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, would actually recharge me in a way that I would serve them better when I come back to the real world. So I think I just talked myself into talking my wife into it. So, babe, if you're listening to this, babe, your husband needs to get away, get away for a couple days, pray, read my Bible, journal, and I know that not everyone gets reading scripture, journaling, and praying, but I would think that you can still see how clearly there are health benefits found in practices of silence and solitude. So now I mentioned music on a desert island, and this is why. I never took music with me. Until this last time I went and they had a gym and I worked out. But other than that, I never took music with me. And I think the more stuff you can cut out of these experiences, the better. So I never took music with me. And I remember the first time, 4 days away, not listening to music at all. And I listen to music all the time. There's almost always music on. And I went 4 days, no music. When I got in the car, it took me maybe 10-15 minutes to actually turn on the radio. And when I did, it was some kind of like 70s rock. When I listen to music for it's a 3-hour drive back into the Cedar Valley here. So those 3 hours, I was blown away at how in tune I was to the music. I was so connected to it. It was like I had never heard music before, and it was amazing because every song was like the best song. So there are great benefits to just shutting ourselves off from things only to come back to them and have a greater appreciation. And music isn't the only aspect of that ideology. So you can look at a million things here, but here's second thing quick, and I've got to get this so I can get out of here. Well, I get out of here. I'm just going upstairs and going to bed. I can get out of here. So second thing. Now, I love sunflower seeds, and I took some sunflower seeds with me one time, and I can't remember what the brand was. I want to say it was, I don't know. I'm not going to overthink that, but it was a specific brand of sunflower seeds I took with me. I ate seeds, for the full few days that I was on that retreat. And maybe a month or two later, I had gone to a gas station, picked up that same brand, same flavor and everything of sunflower seeds, sitting on my desk, eating the seeds. And as soon as I put the seeds in my mouth, all of a sudden the flavor triggered something. It was like a spiritual muscle memory from that time of silence and solitude, which was crazy, which was, it was a feeling of almost deja vu, but it wasn't. It was nostalgic. The taste, though, just reminded me of that powerful experience being alone and quiet, in prayer and meditation. So I thought that was neat. I don't know why that is or what the deep psychological specifics of why that is, but I thought it was cool. So my prayer for you guys, I know how hard it is to get away, is that you somehow, some way find little pieces of your day where you can practice silence and solitude and maybe work your way up to something bigger. I've seen the health in my life, and I need to get back into it. So if anything, this is a reminder for me to be more intentional on finding longer periods of time to practice this. But yeah, love you guys. Happy New Year, Boomer Smith podcast.